Alright guys, welcome back to another Master and Apprentice video and podcast. If you guys are listening on podcast, you might want to head over to Spotify. This is going to be some pretty big visuals involved in today's video and podcast. That being said, there's going to be some heavy spoilers. So if you don't want any spoilers for any upcoming Marvel projects just at all, you might not want to watch this because we're going to be going over some pretty big leaks. If you're a Marvel fan and you're in any kind of social media space, you've probably either heard or seen some of these leaks. And what I'm talking about is an artist that has drawn a lot of concept art for Marvel in the past and in present, either accidentally or purposely leaked a bunch of concept art for upcoming Marvel projects. Now, with that being said, obviously it's concept art, so this doesn't mean it's the final product. But it does give us a taste and a flavor of what to expect in a movie, right? Some of these you can see are like 1-to-1 ratios compared to the actors that we've seen in movies, right? While some of this, it's just an idea of what we can expect. It's not going to really leak any of the story, but it's really good indications what to expect. And so we're going to go over this in kind of in a certain order, I think, like the least important to the most important. So starting off, first picture you guys can see is the Fantastic Four. It's just the main Fantastic Four members sitting at a diner table. It's nothing crazy, but it kind of gives us a taste of what to expect going forward. Like, this is pretty close to what we've seen from the trailer, right? With all the characters so far, they look pretty similar to what we've seen so far. The next picture is a lot more interesting in my opinion. If you go over to this one, you can see it's Fantastic Four, but you can see there's a baby in it. Now, for those who aren't like crazy Marvel fans, you might not know who this is. This is the son of Reed and Sue. In the comics, this character, Franklin Richards, becomes super powerful. He's a baby, so he's not going to be super powerful in this, but he does have a lot of importance in the Marvel universe. So the fact that he's definitely drawn is a good sign. There have been lots of rumors that Franklin was going to be important in this movie. Just the, presence of Franklin is possibly going to draw Galactus, or it's going to have something to do with Galactus, right? So it's cool that we see him draw. We kind of knew we were expecting him, but we hadn't seen him in the trailer at all, so it's good to see that we are still expecting him at some point or another. The next picture you guys can see is a picture of what looks like to be Star-Lord and the newer version of the Vision, right? You guys have watched WandaVision. You see that Vision is rebuilt without this Mind Stone, whatever it is, the yellow one, and he becomes this white version of Vision. He flies off, and we haven't seen him since WandaVision, but we know we're getting a show called Vision Quest, and Vision's going to return at some point in the future. Well, this concept art of Peter Quill and Vision is very interesting. What it's from, who really knows? This could be from Doomsday, it could be from Secret Wars, it could be from the Vision Quest show. I don't actually know when the Vision Quest show is supposed to come. I feel like it has had quite a few delays already. So maybe it's supposed to come out before, Secret Wars. I don't know. And it's interesting that we see Peter Quill because we know after Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Peter Quill takes a break from Guardians of the Galaxy and he's abiding on Earth, right? So maybe, again, this is something from Secret Wars or Doomsday, or maybe this is just from Vision Quest, who knows? But it's kind of a cool picture of what we can maybe expect from some plots moving forward. The next one we have is also interesting. This is from different plot leaks and rumors. It could again be something like Doomsday or Secret Wars even. As you can see, it's Star-Lord, Wong, and then a bunch of like these young kids that have been introduced, right? We have Kate Bishop, we have the new Miss Marvel, we have Scott Lang's daughter, I can't remember her name. I think it's
Kate.
I can't remember. Maybe it's Katie, I don't remember. Then we have Wanda's twins. We obviously haven't seen anything of Billy. We haven't seen anything of Billy. We've seen Tommy and Agatha, right? So this is our first look at Billy, what we can expect. So that's pretty cool as well. And then off to the far right, we see the character Dupe, which hasn't been present in the MCU at all. So this would be his introduction, it looks like. What this could be from, who knows? We've heard things of like Strange Academy, which is supposed to be like maybe like a Hogwarts kind of show where it's like these young kids learning how to use their powers and magic. Or we've heard of the show that was supposed to be Young Avengers, now turned into Championed, pretty much exactly that, like the Young Avengers, and like they're kind of doing these small side quests that have some importance in the main universe. or this could be Doomsday, where we see quite a few different characters from quite a few different universes. Wong, Star-Lord, and Duke are all very interesting characters to be teamed up with this line of new Avengers, or Young Avengers. So, a very interesting picture. Again, what this is from, I have no idea, but it kind of shows where Marvel's mind is with all of these characters and the plot moving forward. So, very, very interesting picture. The next one we have, this one's very interesting. This one, if you guys don't know, is Jocasta. It's pretty much a female version of Ultron, an AI integrated into a robot. What this is tied to, we don't know. Originally, I believe Jocasta was rumored to be in the Armor Wars show, but that's been delayed indefinitely, so I don't know if this is still in the works for something else, for like Doomsday, or maybe Thunderbolts, or I don't know. Probably not Thunderbolts, because Thunderbolts is already a lot further down the pipeline. But what it could be in, I have no idea. Maybe it's just from the original Armor Wars project, and they're just, this is what it would look like. Who knows? But it's a really cool first couple of images, some concept art to look at. Then the next couple are very, very interesting. We have, the next one is Black Panther, as you can see. So we've been hearing lots of rumors that they want to recast T'Challa. Yeah, it's something that they want to do. Fans weren't really in love with, the new Black Panther. It was just not really beloved. They wanted T'Challa recasted. And this is a way for Marvel to kind of have their cake and eat it. They don't necessarily recast T'Challa, because the plan is for them, after Secret Wars, or because of Secret Wars, they're going to be pulling a T'Challa from another universe, essentially. Or aging up the Prince T'Challa, the new young one, right? T'Challa's kid. Either way, we're going to get another Black Panther moving forward. And we can see from the next couple images that they have a couple different ideas what they want it to look like. All of them are pretty cool and unique and different, I'd say. I don't really know which one is kind of my favorite. I actually really all like all of them. They're all very different. The first one, where it's T'Challa without the mask, I really like a lot. That one is, like, I think the closest to the comics right now out of all of these ones that are shown. It's just very cool looking. Either way, it's gonna be really cool to see another Black Panther in the MCU. And I can't wait to see how they do it. Right, it's gonna be very interesting to see how they use the Secret Wars story to set this up and bring in the new T'Challa. Before we move forward, Athen, anything on any of these images?
Specifically the third and fourth picture of T'Challa that we'll be showing right now. I really like the look of that one. I mean, all these really look cool, but that one right there, you can see his lip outline even though he has the Black Panther mask on. So that could be some cool lore information. I don't know what it could be, but it could be something where he is more ingrained into the vibranium suit, or however they want to play it. I mean, with multiple different variations available, you just like to see that all the possibilities are open. All these concept arts are just fun. I mean, they look cool, they're exciting, there's a lot of ideas. I don't see anything I don't want to happen, right? I mean, I'm gonna take a guess and say 80% of these are gonna happen, but I don't see anything here I'd be like, yeah, I really don't want that to happen, They all look pretty good in my opinion.
Yeah, so the next three are all pretty big. And they don't necessarily leak anything, but it kind of gives us a very big, I guess, feel and taste of what to expect moving forward. So the first one we have, as you can see, it looks like some version of a bunch of Hulks, right? We see the version of Bruce Banner right there on screen, Jennifer Walters, She-Hulk, and on the far right, we can see maybe it's even Scar, right? Hulk's son. But it's also like in a medieval time. So what this could be, I have no idea. We've heard lots of different rumors about the Hulk and where his story goes moving forward. We've heard after Doomsday, we should be getting Battleworld movies. And I don't want to go into too much explanation, but essentially, Doomsday is going to be very similar to Secret or Infinity Wars, where the antagonist wins. So in our case, Dr. Doom wins, and he creates Battleworld, right? And these Battleworld stories are going to just be kind of like these movies in between the two Avengers movies. One of them is supposed to be Spider-Man 4. We already know that's going to be shooting this summer. But the next one, we've had lots of different speculation, but of most recent, we've heard a lot of World War Hulk. So obviously we see a picture with quite a few different Hulk characters in it. Maybe that's what that is from. But also, if you know Secret Wars, and you'll see a picture after this, kind of what I'm talking about, this aesthetic kind of matches also with the Secret Wars story in the Battle World Within. So maybe it's from actual Secret Wars. I don't know. Either way, this is a very, very cool picture. It really shows like they're trying to draw a lot from Jonathan Hickman's 2015 Secret Wars comic, because it had a lot of like that medieval flavor to it, right? And it's very, very cool to see this. So a very big picture, lots of speculation going around with it. We'll see what it actually ends up being in the future. The next one, I think, is the biggest one. It's our first look at Doctor Doom, right? We can see it in some sort of Castle Latveria kind of form, right? This doesn't look like it's from Secret Wars. This looks like it's more likely from Doomsday in his castle in Latveria. Whether it's in maybe the Fantastic Four movie or this is, in Doomsday, who knows? Either way, this is kind of our first look at Doctor Doom, and I gotta say, this looks really, really good. Doctor Doom is a guy who just is a savvy, arrogant dude, and this picture just gives that vibe. He's got like this fur pelt on his back, he's slouched on his throne, looking all pimped out. Very, very cool. A lot better than the Fox Doctor Doom that we've seen, right? This is a very good vibe so far for Doctor Doom. And the appearance, the aesthetic, I like it so far. There's very few costumes that the MCU has done a disservice to. I think all of them, they've done a very good job of adapting from the comics, and this is no different than any of those. This looks very, very good. Obviously, we're expecting to see Robert Downey Jr. behind that helmet, so I'm interested to see how he looks with all this gear on. But the first couple of images that we've seen of Doctor Doom in this concept art, I gotta say, it looks very, very good. Again, whether this is from Fantastic Four maybe or Doomsday, I don't know, but this looks like it's some sort of Castle Latveria in Esperanto. And then last but not least, we have what looks like to be our first images of some Secret Wars concept art. This is again Doctor Doom. You can see on the far left what looks to be Doctor Strange standing next to him, Franklin Richards standing by his side, and either kind of looks like it could be either Sue or possibly Wanda. We've heard some rumors that Wanda could be some sort of, I don't know, relationship with Doctor Doom. Who really knows too much about it, but there's been some heavy rumors. And there's some guy kneeling in the presence of Doctor Doom who's kind of in some sort of shackles or bondage by a woman behind that looks like it's some sort of blonde lady. So maybe it's Yelena, maybe it's Sue Storm, who knows. But again, it has that heavy medieval, like Middle Earth kind of vibe to it, right? Very similar again to that 2015 Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars, right? This looks like some images pulled right from that. In fact, we'll have some pictures on screen kind of comparing it. It's obviously not one-to-one, but it's, the best you can do when you're adapting something from comics to the MCU. And I gotta say, I really like that, because that comic is one of the best comic stories of all time, at least in the Marvel Universe. So the fact that they're trying to do its best to adapt that to the big screen, I gotta say, I'm super excited about. When we heard originally they're trying to do Kang, and they're just kind of trying to do their own version of it, it's not that I wasn't excited, it's just, I didn't know what to expect. This, I kind of know what to expect, and I'm really excited to see it. So, very, very exciting stuff. Obviously, there's lots more speculation we can get on this, but it wouldn't be more than that. It would just be speculation. So, all those things being said, Arthur, what do you think about those last three images?
I mean, those last three are really cool. The Doctor Dooms especially. The one thing you gotta say about this is concept art is just that, it's concepts. I mean, you can't take it and say this is what it's going to be, but whenever you see specific actors pushed out, like, that is very obviously the Hulk we know of. So you can definitely tell that's what that's going to be. So if this concept art turns into the project that we think it's going to turn into, I mean, that's going to be crazy. You see it right here, right there, and I mean, I'm excited.
Yeah, very exciting stuff. I mean, these are some pretty big leaks. I mean, essentially, it's kind of Marvel's fault because they haven't been able to build as much hype. But imagine, around the time Infinity War and Endgame was coming out, when we started getting concept art of stuff from the movies, it would be a big deal. And we're getting stuff like that for these movies, but so far out. We haven't even gotten a trailer for Doomsday, right? We probably won't get a trailer for Doomsday until the end of this year. So this is really, really exciting stuff. I'm super excited. I know the latest Captain America movie wasn't, the biggest draw to a lot of fans, But I gotta say, a lot of the upcoming projects, especially the movies, I think Marvel is going to get this hype train back up and rolling. We have Daredevil next week. That's going to be a huge project. I mean, so far, all the critics are rolling over on this thing. They love it. And I think as long as it has a good word of mouth, this thing will be a huge steam train for Marvel. And then when you roll into May, we have Thunderbolts. I'm going to be interested to see how Thunderbolts does, because it's kind of, let's face it, B-list and C-list characters. But it's got some really important implications in it, and I really like the direction it's going. And then obviously Fantastic Four this summer, it's going to be huge and instrumental to the Avengers movies coming forward. So very exciting stuff. Let us know what you guys think about all these images down in the comments. Like I said, very exciting stuff. With all that being said, anything else, Afton?
Nope, that's it for me.
Alright, hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. If you guys are listening to the podcast, don't forget to hit that follow and download. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.